Outlast is one of my favorite games of all time. Seriously, as a huge fan of the horror genre, Outlast is simply a masterpiece of terror. For me, it's one of those games you just can't stop thinking about, and today I want to talk about why. I want to talk about why the game's atmosphere, design, story, and gameplay stick with me long after I turn it off, long after I've beaten it countless times, and how those elements give rise to the thematic core of the game, that being the idea of absolute helplessness. First off, Mount Massive Asylum, right? It's not just this spooky backdrop, this setting, no. It is the villain. The corridors, the silence, the subtle environmental storytelling. It's oppressive in a way very few games manage. You don't just feel lost, you feel tiny. There's grime, flickering fluorescent lights, walls soaked in blood. At any moment, something's just beyond sight, sitting in the shadows. The game opens with the iconic silhouette of Mount Massive Asylum, and as you drive up towards it, you see the facility looming in the night like a monolith of dread. It's immediately imposing, tall, dark, and uncaring. Before you even stepped out of the car, the most terrifying thing isn't any monster you might face. It's the fear of uncertainty, of what waits for you inside. As you enter the asylum, navigating the halls only seen through a lens, your camcorder is both lifeline and curse. It's your only real tool, but it's also your greatest source of anxiety. It's not just about seeing, it's about what you see, when you see it, and how much you wish you didn't. Limited batteries force you to make these tense little calculations. Do I risk walking blind? Or do I drain my battery and maybe catch a glimpse of something I wish I hadn't? This grainy green hue of night vision becomes your default worldview, and the second you turn it on, the tension multiplies tenfold. That filter, that static, that mechanical hiss of the lens, it all feels so clinical and invasive, like the asylum itself is watching you. You're not just looking through the camcorder, you're being consumed by it. The worst part is, you absolutely need it. That's what makes it genius. What Outlast nails is this sense of being completely useless. No weapons, no combat. You're a journalist, just you, a camcorder, and your will to survive. That camcorder is really what drives it home. It's not a weapon, it's not a shield, it's an eye. It's a fragile lens between you and the horrors crawling through the dark. The more you rely on it, the more you realize all you can do is watch. Watch the unspeakable things happening in front of you and pray you don't become a part of them. You don't get better, you don't fight back. You just get more scared, more dependent, and more trapped. It's that cat and mouse gameplay loop that elevates fear. The AI varies. Sometimes they roam, sometimes they sprint. Either way, you're constantly calculating. Do I hide? Do I sneak? Do I sprint? Do I freeze? All while navigating the maze of the asylum in hopes not to get trapped in a dead end. It's raw panic, and it works so unbelievably well because we know we can't fight back. This whole game isn't panic, however. If it was, how impactful would it really be? The beauty of the structure lies in the way its horror ebbs and flows. One minute, you're flicking past desks trying to collect batteries and documents, completely safe. The next, you're in a full-blown sprint from a hulking variant. Those scripted chase sequences feel equal parts terrifying and thrilling. These moments don't rely on jump scares. They're atmospheric crescendos. You're not just scared by what you see. You're terrified by what's behind you and what might be waiting in the dark 10 feet ahead. Layered beneath this fear and given as hints and clues lies the story of Outlast. Sparse documents, Miles's recording notes, the isolated monologues of a few surviving patients. The information is so deliberately fed to to let you piece together what these Murkoff experiments are, the horrifying idea of the Wall Rider, Project Paperclip and the involvement with the Nazis, and the outlandish idea of mind control through dream nanites. It's weird, slightly insane, but it sucks you in. Every log dump, every scribbled note makes you think something is wrong here. The further you go, the more you almost understand, but never completely. You feel surrounded by unanswered questions, and that adds layers of existential dread on top of the survival horror. Best of all, it's not just a one-time scare. The environment, the atmosphere, the story pulls me back in. I've beaten this game hundreds of times, whether I'm trying to find every document and solve every mystery, or I'm trying to speed run the game only to get scared by something I didn't even know could happen. Because you're always trying to stealth your way past variants, every run feels fresh. You think you know where to go, but the darkness always messes with you. It catches your breath. It hides traps. That's replayability from fear, not from action. I play it over and over again because I like how it makes me afraid, and how it makes me face that fear. Yes, it's not perfect. People say narrative pacing gets a bit messy, story beats can feel scattered, like they're trying to keep you unsure, but honestly, that confusion works in service of horror. Not everything needs to make sense when you're running from a lunatic doctor with giant scissors. Those moments where you hunt down files slowly, quietly, it's a perfect balance to the fast chases. It's a roller coaster of tension that earns every chill. Outlast isn't just another horror game for me. It's the gold standard for survival terror. If you've never played it, or you've played it once but maybe forgot about it, I implore you to give it another go. Step back into Mount Massive, turn on your camcorder, and truly remind yourself just what helplessness feels like. Hey, I want to thank you guys for making it all the way to the end. I'm completely new to this kind of thing, so it really does mean a lot to me. If you liked what I had to say, by all means, leave a like. If you didn't like what I had to say, then you can tell me all about it in the comments. Or if you want to, give me some ideas for the next game, movie, or anything else you might want to see me talk about, that's pretty cool. Um, and, try hitting that subscribe button if you want to see that video happen, right? Um, you know, uh, Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you later.